program. Today is an extremely auspicious day. It is the disappearance day of Srila Prabhupada. Today's Bhagavad Sanga program is dedicated to our founder Acharya, His Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Disappearance day is a day when Srila Prabhupada ceased to be visible to our mortal eyes as he attained the eternal abode of Lord Sri Krishna. Srila Prabhupada's glory is that he gave shelter to people addicted to material life and made them saintly persons and made them fully engage and in devotional service, empowered them to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world and established a mission that would continue to spread for the next 10,000 years. No matter how much one may endure, without the mercy of Vaishnavas, one cannot make progress in spiritual life. Therefore, let us pray to Srila Prabhupada to always keep us under the shade of his most merciful lotus feet and engage us in the service of Sri Sri Guru Gauranga and Sri Sri Radha Krishna. Today, Vaman Hari Prabhu will glorify Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu is the senior most Vaishnavas of our congregation. He has been practicing Krishna consciousness for more than 40 years now. He is humility personified and has dedicated his entire life to Srila Prabhupada's movement with utmost devotion to Supreme Lord. Prabhu exemplifies in the devotional qualities that Srila Prabhupada wanted all of us to cultivate. Prabhu is the best person to glorify Srila Prabhupada. We are very fortunate to hear from him today. With that, I would like to invite Prabhu to start the class. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Satyasar Prabhu, Jai Subhadra Mataji, and all the devotees assembled. Veena Mataji has said a lot of things, but only some of them are true. I'm the oldest one. I've been associated with ISKCON and Prabhupada's movement for a longer time. I was initiated maybe earlier than any of us, but when it comes to the practice and sadhana, I'm still in the Shravanam stage. So with that, I'll get blessings from Prabhupada and Vaishnavas, then attempt to speak something. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini Vancha Kalpatarubhyacha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. When Satyasara Prabhu instructed me to speak something about Prabhupada today, I reluctantly agreed, remembering the thing we recently learned in Vaishnava etiquette and other classes, that with the instruction, the power to carry the instruction also comes. So I was thinking about that power. And then I suddenly remembered that every Tuesday I am attending Prabhupada Leelamrita classes. And whatever I hear this Tuesday, I try to repeat, hear a little carefully, make a note and record and hear again, and then say something of what I remember. And the topic is Srila Prabhupada in Jhansi and League of Devotees. Jhansi is a city south of Lucknow, about 300 kilometers. And that's where League of Devotees, Prabhupada started. So before we go to Jhansi, I wanted to say a few things about Prabhupada, but about Prabhupada, what was he in the spiritual world, what Manjari or Gopi, that I don't know. But he was in the spiritual world and he was asked to go to material world to conduct some business. which he reluctantly agreed. And then he himself, Prabhupada himself says in chapter 6, Bhagavad Gita, where we talk about what happens if we don't complete our mission after a long time of sadhana. And Prabhupada mentions that both himself and his Guru Maharaj, they were born in a highly transcendentalist families. And then there is another thing about Prabhupada. I think Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or at that time, they predicted that soon a Senapati will come and he will propagate the holy name all around the world. So, and that Senapati happens to be Srila Prabhupada. Then I was thinking, for Senapati, he has to have a lot of Sena assistants, and that he got all that Sena when he came to the West. And I heard the devotees saying that all this Sena, they came to assist him, just like when Ramchandra came, all the demigods, they came as monkeys and other people to assist his pastimes. And also when Lord Krishna came, the Yadavas were all, they came to assist in his leelas. Similarly, when Prabhupada came, all these his devotees came to assist him. And then there's one more point when then we go to Jhansi. We visited along with Kirtan and his parents Prabhupada's birth home in Calcutta, his maternal grandparents' home. It was a small house in Taliganj area, and we were fortunate about 5-6 years ago to go there, along with Guru Mataji and Avacharan Prabhu Kirtan. And now, and before Jhansi, Prabhupada all along has been writing and conducting his business of pharmacy. And at some point, he was trying to print the books, but not having funds. And he approached some people with some connection, and they're with the help of Muthu Swami Chettiar in Tamil Nadu, he got connection to Alagappan Chettiar, who was supposed to be the Birla of the South. He agreed to fund the printing of Bhagavad Gita. But when Prabhupada wanted to send the copy of manuscript, he could not find. And we were told that they don't know what happened to his manuscript. That's one. And then during the wartime, he was going through a lot of stress. The Second World War. One is Second World War, bombing in Calcutta, people having the regular difficulties of the war situation. That is one war. And he was also going through another 2 wars. One was, the second one was, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati has left, and after he left, his disciples were all not united. They were fighting among themselves and different things which Prabhupada did not like. So that was going through his mind. And the third war was at his home. His family was not cooperating projects. So with this in background, Prabhupada was in Allahabad managing Prayag pharmacy. and he visited in connection with business Jhansi a few times before. But this time, after reading Prabhupada's Back to Godhead and some essays about Bhagavad Gita, one gentleman, Mr. Dubey from Jhansi, he wrote to Prabhupada requesting him to come to Jhansi and give a lecture, for which Prabhupada agreed, and he went and spoke on Bhagavad Gita, and several important people of Jhansi and hundreds of students, especially Ayurvedic college students, they all attended. There was a good response. And Prabhupada was requested to come back again to do more preaching. This was the initial visit. Then they requested him to come for extended visit, and he was going there on a train ride from Calcutta for over 12 hours. Then they received him, and several important people, one Mr. Dubey, who was the first one to invite Prabhupada, and later on he had some developed some connections, or he met people. One Mr. Shastri, a physician, and Ramachandra Mitra, a businessman, and several people were interested, and they arranged a program. And there were several institutions there, Gita Mandir, Theosophical Society, and some other community place where these people were associated with. And all this information we got from Prabhupada Lilamrita by Satsvarup Das Goswami, who visited Jhansi. He interviewed all these people and found what exactly went through when Prabhupada was there. So Prabhupada was staying in one Dr. Shastri's house, a young doctor who had a clinic downstairs, and upstairs he was staying by himself, and Prabhupada stayed with him. And then from there, they were having classes and different programs in different people's houses and the other places. Then one day, Prabhupada was walking along with one of these important people outside the city. He saw a big compound wall and several acres of land and some buildings in that. So Prabhupada's eyes caught that place, and then he thought, oh, this will be good for our preaching. And they went closer to the building. That building was named as Radha Smarak Place. So some Vaishnava person, Radha, she passed away. On her name, on her Smarak, this building and this property was developed. But it was empty. There was a big building with a hall which can accommodate hundreds of people, and then 5-6 rooms. Then Prabhupada's mind was going, different things were going through Prabhupada's mind. Oh, one room will be for sannyasis, one for brahmacharis, this hall for the congregation, kitchen, and all these kind of things he was already planning. And they approached the some person who was staying there, Prabhakar Mishra. I may be mixed up with all these names. He said, oh, you can occupy this, you can use it. He uses only once every Sunday morning for Bhagavad Gita class for him. But other days, but that building is taken care by one, some gentleman. He manages uh, this building. So with some connection, they approached him, and Prabhupada was not alone requesting for that. All these other local people were there. They knew him very well. And that gentleman agreed, oh, you can use it. And then that was a happy thing for Prabhupada. And they started preaching there. And Prabhupada's routine there was every day he gets up at 4 o'clock for writing, and then from 5:30 to 7 he does japa, 7 to 8 a class, then 8 to 10 he writes again articles and books. Then 10 o'clock cooking, and after the lunch he goes to preach in the town, meet different people. And 7 p.m. again there is a program at different places, either people's home or some mandir, things like that. All these things were happening 1952-53. And with this, Prabhupada wrote their articles, and also Science of Devotion. It's the Nectar of Devotions summary, and articles on Sikshastakam. And he wrote Message of God, 24,000 word message. And when he saw the building, he thought he will have printing press, print Back to Godhead magazine and other books. He had so many plans. Now with the good beginning, they occupied the building, and for rent-free. But after some time, Prabhupada thought I should have something official. He formed the chapter, and with 4 or 5 people, and they registered that in Lucknow. And so they have something official thing going on. Then after that, he had planned to do the formation of League of Nations, because he was not doing the preaching just there only, but he wanted to do the preaching for the whole world. So with that, he wanted some brahmacharis or vanaprasthis to help the preaching program. The local people were interested in hearing him, but they were not. They were themselves busy in their own businesses. He gave an advertisement in Calcutta, and when this is going on, and he had a big program, and where the governor of the state, K.M. Munshi, at that time, and several other dignitaries, they attended the program, and governor even gave donation of 100 rupees at that time. When this is happening, going on in a smooth way, there several things came, and the gentleman who gave the property, and also Prabhupada, he wanted something concrete, and they wanted it to be on their name. Then that gentleman, he said, oh, you sign this paper, pay 500 rupees, and then you pay 5,000, then we get it registered. Prabhupada was expecting it for free. So with this, they didn't have any money. And when this is happening, Prabhupada got a letter from his pharmacy business that the business was robbed, 7,000 rupees was stolen, and it's all gone. And Prabhupada didn't want to go there and then pursue that. And he thought this Krishna's arrangement. But for the money, he has to raise some money. And his son Vrindavan came there. He wanted him to stay there to help the project, typing the papers and all that. But he was not interested. So Prabhupada went back to Calcutta to raise some money by some business. But that didn't work out well. And at home, they were not at all interested. And that's the time something else happened. And Prabhupada was preaching in one room and the family were doing their own routine things. And one day Prabhupada wanted the Bhagavad Gita, and not Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, the manuscript or the original book. Then his wife said, "Oh, that book, I gave it to the people and got the biscuits, money for the biscuits and chai." And that's the time Prabhupada, it was turning point. He said, "That's it. You want the tea or you want your husband?" And she said, "I choose the chai, not the husband," thinking that Prabhupada was saying in good humor or jokingly. But Prabhupada was serious about that. Then Prabhupada still did not get settled. All his children, everybody was not married and settled. He wanted to do all that. But then he thought, if I die tomorrow, who will take care of them? So the Lord will arrange something. So he got determined that he will quit home. And he remembered his Guru Maharaj saying that when somebody takes sannyas or vanaprastha, leaves home, it's called civil suicide. That means his severe connection to all the family members. It's not regular suicide, but it's... So Prabhupada decided that, and he could not raise any money. He was in little anxiety. He went to one of his god brothers' ashram nearby and spent few days just chanting and just be by himself. And then he found a big murti of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then with that, he came back to Jhansi. Then when he came back to Jhansi, and there's something else was going on. K.M. Munshi was governor there, and his wife Leelavati Munshi, she wanted to start some women's program, women's development, or some program to help the women. And for that, they were looking for a building. And one Mataji, Surya Kant, she was one of Prabhupada, in the Prabhupada's group of people who started helping Prabhupada. She favored Mrs. Leelavati Munshi's side, and she said, "Oh, there is a building here. Prabhupada doesn't need that, and they can occupy it, look for some other place." So this here, governor's wife and the group of people, and Prabhupada was on this side. So somehow they could not raise the money to buy the building, and this governor is looking, and she wants that place. So that was kind of a end of the thing. And Prabhupada's some friends and lawyers, they advised, you can go to court and then you will win the case. But Prabhupada didn't want to go to court. He has already seen Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's disciples going to court and going through a lot of problems. So he decided, and he wanted to take help of his god brothers in Vrindavan and Mathura, and that also didn't work out. Finally, Prabhupada decided to quit Jhansi and go back to Vrindavan. And I think my time is up. But Prabhupada had a lot of plans, League of Devotees, and from there he wanted to preach not only in India, but to different countries, sending the books, magazines, looking for sponsors, everything. So, but this was an important chapter in his developing the preaching program. Hare Krishna, Satyasar Prabhu, Hare Krishna, devotees.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. That was an excellent glorification of Srila Prabhupada. And we really like the narration of Srila Prabhupada's pastimes before coming to US. Thank you very much for sharing. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Patita Pavana Srila Prabhupada ki jai. With that, Satyasara Prabhu, did you have any?
Oh, no, I just want to thank Tata for taking the time to share his realization and his understanding about Srila Prabhupada's Jhansi Yatra with us. So thank you very much, Tata, for that.
Thank you. It was your inspiration.
Oh, Krishna. Your blessing, Tata. We all need that. Thank you, Tata. Over to you,
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. With that, we will continue with the Bhagavad Sanga program. Today, Kannan Prabhu and Sri Devi Mataji will be presenting verses from Srimad Bhagavatam on the theme of protection, prayers for protection. Mataji and Prabhu.
Prabhu, we are not able to hear you.
Are you able to hear me now, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Please continue.
Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Satyasara Prabhu, Jai Subhitra Mataji and Meena Mataji for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share our thoughts. Please forgive me if I make any mistake. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Dhyananjana Salakya Satchuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So we are going to discuss about Canto 10, Chapter 37, Text 10 and 11 from Bhagavatam. Krishna Krishna Prameyatman Yogesha Jagadishwara Vasudeva Kilavasa Satvatam Pravara Prabho Tvamatma Sarva Bhutanam Yeko Jyotirivaidasam Kudo Guhasayat Sakshi Mahapurusha Ishwaraha.
Translation. Narada Muni said, O Krishna, Krishna, unlimited Lord, source of all mystic power, Lord of the universe, O Vasudeva, shelter of all beings and best of the Yadus. O Master, you are the supreme soul of all created beings, sitting unseen within the cave of the heart like the fire dormant within kindling wood. You are the witness within everyone, the supreme personality and the ultimate controlling deity.
So this verse is all about glorifying Krishna by Sri Narada Muni. So before we discuss about glorifying Krishna, we see the pastime of killing demon Keshi by Krishna. So after being instructed by Kamsa, the demon Keshi assumed the form of a terrible horse. So he entered the area of Vrindavana with the speed of the mind, his great mane flying and his hooves digging up the earth. So he began to whinny and terrify the whole forest. So Krishna saw that the demon was frightening all the residents of Vrindavana with his whinnying and his tail wheeling in the sky like a big cloud. So Krishna could understand that the horse was challenging him to fight. So the Lord accepted his challenge and stood before the Keshi demon, calling him to fight. So the horse then ran towards Krishna, making a horrible sound like a roaring lion, his jaws spread wide open as if to swallow the whole sky. So Casey rushed towards the Lord with great speed and tried to trample him with his legs, which were strong and forceful and as hard as stone. So Krishna, however, immediately caught hold of his legs and thus baffled him. And Krishna was somewhat angry, and thus he began to whirl the horse around. So after a few rounds, Krishna mockingly threw him 100 yards away, and just as Garuda throws a big snake. Thrown by Krishna, the horse immediately became unconsciousness. But after a little while, he regained his consciousness, and with great anger and force, again he rushed towards Krishna with his mouth open. As soon as Casey reached him, Krishna pushed his left arm within the horse's mouth. So the horse felt great pain because Krishna's arm fell to him like a hard iron rod. So Krishna's arm within the mouth of the horse at once began to expand, and Casey's throat choked up. So as the great horse suffocated, sweat appeared on his body, and he threw his legs here and there. So thus the vital force of his life expired. So when the horse was dead, his mouth became loose and Krishna could extract his arm without any difficulties. So he did not even feel any surprise that the Casey demon was killed so easily. So but the demigods in the sky were amazed, and out of their great appreciation, they offered Krishna greeting by showering flowers. So after this pastime, Narada Muni appeared and glorified Krishna. Narada Muni, the greatest of all devotees, said, "My dear Lord Krishna, you are the unlimited super soul, the supreme controller of all mystic powers, the Lord of the whole universe, the all-pervading personality of Godhead. So you are the resting place of the cosmic manifestation, the master of all devotees and the Lord of everyone." So here we should notice that Narada Muni was saying master of all demigods as well. So Narada Muni continued, "My dear Lord, as the supreme soul of all living entities, you remain concealed within their hearts, exactly as fire remains concealed in every piece of fuel. So you are self-sufficient. Before the creation, you existed, and by your energy, you have created all the material elements. So according to your perfect plan, this material world is created by the interaction of the modes of nature, and by you, it is maintained and annihilated. Although you are unaffected by all these activities, you are the supreme controller eternally. You protected many devotees, like you saved the son of Brahmana from death, and you killed the Paundraka demon, and also so many. So you are the one who protected everyone from suffering. So my Lord, let me offer my respectful obeisance unto your lotus feet." So what I realized from Narada's prayer and Krishna's pastime here is, Krishna is the only protector and no one else. So a couple of days back, Satisara Prabhu told me, we have to have unflinching faith towards Krishna. Only unflinching faith will bring out unconditional love. So if we do not have faith in someone, then we cannot love them unconditionally. So we love our kids unconditionally no matter what they do. And Hanuman is the best example for unconditional love. So if we have unconditional love towards Krishna, that will bring out perfect knowledge of Krishna, which helps us to chant and do our devotional services properly. So if we do all this, then 100% sure Krishna will protect us from all suffering. So now Kannan will talk about Yomashura pastime. Thank you.
Hare Krishna devotees, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I will talk about this Vyomaswara pastime, and also, I'll give my realization about this protection slokas, and also, my pastime. Krishna and his cowherd boyfriends, they were playing on the top of the Govardhan hill. They were playing a game called police and thieves. And even now also, so many children, they play this game. It is because I also played this game in my childhood. They call it as a hide and seek or something. But this game is, the concept of this game is like some people, some children, assume that they are police, and some of them, thieves, and some of them, playing like lambs. So the game is like, the thieves, will steal the lambs, but, the cops needs to find them and catch them, the thieves. This is the concept of the game. So Krishna and his friends were playing this game very joyfully. But, there is a demon called Vayamasura. He is a flying demon. And this demon, is son of Maya, because, this demon Maya and Vayamasura, they are, they have a lot of magic power, and they can perform the magic also. With the help of that, this Vayamasura transformed into one of the thieves, and he also, joined with included in the participated in the game, because all the other friends, they were not knowing that, he is a demon or anything. He, just like a boy, he joined there, and what he did, he went and took the lambs one by one. The lambs in the sense, here, the boys, actual boys, he is capturing them and putting them in the cave. He was doing this almost successfully. He got hold of all the boys. But Krishna realized that, he is a demon. He is doing all these things, and my friends are in real trouble. So Krishna went and fought with him. He was holding that, Krishna was holding Vayamasura tightly. So Vayamasura, thought that, okay, I will escape from Krishna's hold by expanding my body. So he was expanding like his body like a mountain, but still Krishna got hold of him like a lion holding the lamb. So he was not able to escape, and he was not able to breathe also. And Krishna just throw him and put him on the ground and, killed him. And then, the boys, and he released, before that, the Vayamasura, what he did, he put the boys in the cave, and he knew that, the boys may come out. So he put a big stone out of the cave's entrance so that, the boys cannot come out. He did. But, Krishna broken everything, and he released the boys out of the cave. So this is a beautiful pastime of Krishna. But what I realized from this pastime is, I really can compare ourselves with this pastime. That is, demon Vayamasura put Krishna's cowherd friends into the cave, but we ourselves got into this material cave by our demonic quality, such as, Krishna, I can enjoy separately without you. That's a demonic quality we had. Only because of that, we came into this cave and suffering now. And also, the Vayamasura blocked the cave's entrance by stone. We came to this world, material cave, and this material cave entrance is blocked by Maya or illusion that, we are not understanding where we are. But so, this is the door is, this door is, this Maya or illusion door is more powerful than what demon Vayamasura put the stone there. Then when Vayamasura put the boys inside the cave, the boys called for Krishna to protect them. Krishna, Krishna, please come and help me and protect us. That is exactly what we need to do, because we are in this material cave. We need to call Krishna by the wonderful, mantra, Maha Mantra given by our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we need to call this mantra, loudly, crying out loudly, and also calling Krishna to protect us and release us from this material cave. it is, so that, Krishna, I think, we were seeing the pastime of Krishna's killing the Vyamasura demon, but now I strongly feel that, Krishna is doing the present time with us, because we are in material cave, we came on our own, and Krishna is the only person who can, protect us, who can release us from this material world. So we have to call Krishna very loudly, and we need to, remember Krishna within our heart all the time, so that, Krishna will come and take us back to him. It is, so the final point is, it is so it is up to us whether we are going to call Krishna to take us back, or being in ignorance that I can enjoy separately from Krishna and suffer forever. This is the understanding, of this pastime, and also the protection sloga what Satyasara Prabhu gave us. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu and Mataji. That was a very beautiful narration of killing of Keshi, the demon Keshi and Vyomasura. And Mataji, your realization of unflinching faith, then it will bring out unconditional love to Krishna. That was very, very, very beautifully said. And Prabhu, I think you made a very nice point that we have come to this cave of material life, and we have to pray to Krishna to get out of it. So thank you very much for the narration and the beautiful realization. Thank you very much. With that, we will now start Radha Damodar Prabhu and Atma Maya Mataji's presentation. Hare Krishna Prabhu and Mataji.
Hare Krishna Vina Mataji, Hare Krishna Satyasata Prabhu, Hare Krishna Jayasubra Mataji for giving us this opportunity. We'll try our best to make this presentation. Please forgive us if we had made any mistakes or offenses in this point of our presentation. So I'm going to talk about from Srimad Bhagavatam, Kando 1, Creation, Chapter 8, verse 9. Uttara praying for protection of a child in a womb. First, we start with our prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayam Udirete Nasta Prayeshu Apadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki Om Jnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Milatamena Tasmai Sri Gurve Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayade Girim Yat Kripatam Aham Vande Sri Guru Dinataranam. I'm going to say the verse. Uttara Uvacha Pahi Pahi Mahayogi Deva Deva Jagatpade Nanyam Tavat Apayam Pashe Yatra Mrityu Parasparam. Translation. Uttara said, O Lord of Lord, Lord of Universe, you are the greatest of mystics. Please protect me, for there is no one else who can save me from the clutches of death in this world of duality.
Krishna, thank you, devotees. So I want to give some background behind this verse. So this is from the first canto. So the background is that the Kurukshetra war is over, and after the war, every Pandavas are going to the Ganges to cleanse themselves, and so after they have done all the cleansing by pouring water from Ganges and putting back to the Ganges, they all come back, and when they come back, at that time, basically there was an attack by Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama is still there in the Kaurava side. Ashwatthama attacked Uttara by throwing Brahmastra to the child in her womb. So the only way Brahmastra is like compared to with the atomic bomb. So only one person can protect Uttara from that situation. That is only Krishna, Lord Bhagavan Krishna. And so Uttara is running towards him, towards the chariot of Krishna, and asking for protection. So that's the background.
So let's talk about who's Uttara. Uttara is a daughter of the great king Virata. She is a wife of a great hero Abhimanyu, and she is a daughter-in-law of the great devotee Arjuna and his wife Subhadra, who is a sister of Krishna and Balarama. And Uttara had exalted birth, and all these other relatives had inspired her with the knowledge of Krishna about having faith in Krishna right from childhood. So Queen Uttara had lost her husband in the battlefield. Now she is carrying the precious child in the womb, Parishit Maharaj, the legacy of mighty Pandavas. So now Uttara feels the presence of Brahmastra. So let's talk about Ashwatthama a little bit. Ashwatthama had a blood of innocent young children of 5 Pandavas on his hands. So he actually killed them deceitfully when they were asleep, which was not the right thing to do. He just wanted to please his friend Duryodhana, who wanted to see the Pandavas dead. So Ashwatthama later realizes that he did not kill the Pandavas, but instead he had killed their children. So now he realizes his mistake, and he releases the Brahmastra to fulfill the vow made to Duryodhana. So if you see about the Brahmastra is considered the deadliest weapon of that time, capable to destroy the whole earth. It's said that it emits the glow equivalent to thousands of sun, and it forms like a mushroom-shaped cloud, as we now see an atomic bomb, and it never misses its mark. So feeling the fiery heat and threatened by Brahmastra, Uttara was very worried about the child in the womb, and for safety of her child, she sincerely prays for Krishna's protection. So Uttara prays to Krishna. Uttara is shouting like, Pahi Pasha Mahayogin. She said, Krishna, please protect my embryo. You're Mahayogin, greatest mystic. You can do anything you like. Deva Mahogani Jagatpade, you are the Lord of the universe. Nanyam Tavat Abhayam Pashe, I don't see anybody else apart from you who can save us from this mrityu in the world of dualities. So even though her mighty father-in-law Arjuna and the great Pandavas were there, Krishna runs to Krishna for protection. So Uttara did not appeal to them. But why? Because she knows that all the source of this strength comes from Krishna only. So she knew that whatever protection the great relatives could offer ultimately came from Krishna and by his grace. And the Lord is only shelter of fearlessness of the surrounded soul. So if we see in Bhagavatam, verse 1:8-13, Sudha Goswami narrates how Lord Krishna responded to Uttara's prayer. He says, Vyasanam vikshya tatesham ananya vishyatmanam sudarshane sotrena sanam reksham vyadat vibhu. The Almighty Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, having observed that a great danger was befalling his unalloyed devotees, who were fully surrendered soul, at once took up his Sudarshana disc to protect them. So if you see, Krishna is actually a Bhakta Valsala. Pandavas are Ananya Vishyatman because they are fully surrendered soul. They do not depend upon anybody else but only Krishna. And in the same way, the Lord is also much concerned about his pure devotees. In Bhagavad Gita 4.8, Krishna says, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chaduskridam dharma samsthanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. That would protect the righteous, to annihilate the wicked, and to re-establish the principle of dharma, appear on this earth age after age. Here, Krishna fulfills his promise to protect his devotees from calamities. So this is exactly what we see in Uttara's praise to Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam also, 1.11.7, it is said, Bhavya nastam bhava vishwa bhavana tavam eva mataha suhudspadim pita tavam sadguru na paramam cha devedam Yasyanu Vritya Kritino Bahu Vima. O Creator of universe, you are our mother, a well-wisher, Lord, Father, spiritual master, and worshipable deity. By following in your footsteps, we have become successful in our every respect. We pray, therefore, that you continue to bless us with your mercy. Here, the daughter citizen glorify Lord Krishna as Tavam Eva Mata. You are our mother. So, how did Krishna protect Uttara's child? If we see that Krishna is sitting on the chariot, and at the same time Krishna is protecting Uttara's child in a womb. So, if some people will think like, how can Krishna do that? So, if you see the Krishna's actions are all wonderful, for he's always beyond our limit of conception. Nothing is impossible for him, for he's all powerful, he's a supreme personality of Godhead, is without rival. No one is equal or greater than him. So by his power of omnipresence, he made himself present both inside and outside Uttara and other members of her family. Srila Prabhupada, in the transcendental purport of 1.8.13, mentions that although in the battle of Kurukshetra was almost finished, still according to the vow, he should not have taken up his own weapon. But the emergency was so important that he saw Bhakta Valsala with the lover of devotee. He preferred to continue as Bhakta Valsala than to be a worldly moralist who never breaks his solemn vow. So here the motherly pain of Krishna was more than the pain of the would-be mother Queen Uttara. And as a supreme mother, Lord Krishna not only saved the child in the womb, but also the entire Pandava clan. So now Krishna reveals both the knowledge of Krishna and a faith in him. Let's see what is that knowledge. So the knowledge is, in this context, it does not refer to anything mundane, but it's an awareness of Krishna's greatness. So this knowledge, this transcendental knowledge comes from Krishna himself and it is delivered to a spiritual master. And Krishna clearly exalts and empowers the spiritual master. His representative, he says, just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he can see the truth. So what if we get the transcendental knowledge? And this knowledge, when we receive, will never again fall into illusion. For this knowledge, they will see that all living beings are but part of Krishna. So when we get the knowledge, like no matter what our past is, we would have made a lot of mistakes in our past, but once we are in this boat of transcendental knowledge, we'll be able to cross the ocean of miseries. The karma from our past material activities will be eradicated. So in this world, Krishna says there's nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is the mature fruit of all mysticism. Even Srila Prabhupada writes, the fact is that Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Super Soul, cannot be attained simply by explanations, logic, and erudite scholarship. One cannot understand him simply by one's brain substance. So, the ultimate goal of transcendental knowledge is to perform sincere devotional service, which is unmotivated, uninterrupted, and just do simply for the pleasure of Krishna and his devotees. And such service depends on nothing other than our sentiment or desire for it. We should have that ultimate desire to serve Krishna. If we try to serve Krishna and his devotees in this way, we increase our eligibility to be empowered by him or by his devotee. So what is the faith we are talking about? Faith means it's a complete confidence or trust in something or someone. Krishna Dasa Kaviraja describes his faith as Shraddha Shabde Vishwasa Kahe Sudhirda Nishchaya Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Krita Haya. Shraddha means faith. It's a confident, firm faith that by rendering transcendental loving service to Krishna, one automatically performs all the subsidiary activities. Such faith is favorable to the discharge of devotional service. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 22.62. In Srila Prabhupada's word, one is called a faithful man who thinks that simply by acting in Krishna consciousness, he can attain the highest perfection. This faith is attained by discharge of devotional service and by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So once we chant, what happens is it cleanses one's heart of all the material dirt. Srimad Bhagavatam is full of activities of devotees who turns to Krishna with complete faith. So Krishna himself declares in Bhagavad Gita 9.22, you should always worship me with exclusive devotion. meditating on my transcendental form. To them, I carry what they lack, and I preserve what they have. And Uttara's word informs us of our implicit faith in Krishna. There's no one else who can save me from the clutches of death in this world of duality. So what's the love here? In Srimad Bhagavatam, we learn of Uttara's deep love for Krishna. So now Uttara's child is saved. The Pandavas were properly instructed and they installed as a rule of the kingdom. And now Krishna requests permission to leave to Dwaraga. So the Pandavas, they couldn't tolerate separation from Krishna. Uttara fainted when she heard about the suppression of Krishna. That is what the true sign of devotee. We should feel that separation from Krishna. We should be longing to do services for him, should love him. So, an intelligent person who has, in Bhagavatam, it says that an intelligent person who has understood the Supreme Lord, the association with pure devotees, has become freed from bad materialistic association, can never avoid hearing the glories of the Lord, even though he has heard them only once. He always desires to learn about the glories. He always desires to do service. He always desires to be associated with devotees. So that will be the mode of a pure devotee. The Pandavas here could not tolerate separation, for they had been intimately associated with the person by seeing him face to face, touching him, conversing with him, and sleeping, sitting, dining with him. All the hearts were melting for him on the part of attraction. So they looked at him without blinking the eyes, and they moved hither and hither in perplexity. So that should be the mood of love for Krishna. So now the question will be asked, why did Krishna did not save Abhimanyu and Parikshit Maharaj? Even Parikshit Maharaj, he saved Parikshit Maharaj when he was in the womb of his mother, but later he didn't save him from the snake bite. And Uttara husband is Abhimanyu, and Krishna didn't save him. So these are questions which automatically comes. So Krishna's, what we can understand is Krishna's protection is not always for the body, but sometimes it is the soul which is protected. So if you see Abhimanyu, he was trained in all forms of warfare by Lord Krishna, Pradyumna, Krishna's son, and Arjuna. While he was in the mother, Subhadra's womb, he had learned the art of breaking into Chakravyuha. However, he was not able to hear the entire information and how to get out of battle formation. So this was Krishna's plan also. Because that if we had Abhimanyu had listened the rest of the part, he would have been saved from the Chakravyuha. But it was Krishna's plan. Krishna interrupted Arjuna and asked him to come with him during that time. So here Arjuna was, if you see Arjuna in the beginning of the battle of Kurukshetra, he was very confused. He did not want to fight with his cousins, his grandparents, his teachers, everyone. So hence, this was a master plan of Sri Krishna. And Abhimanyu's death would act as a turning point in the war, and it would be the Pandavas' favor. So up until Abhimanyu's death, the Pandavas did not fight with their full strength. So Abhimanyu, when if you see, Abhimanyu was a surrendered soul. He has seen Krishna. He knows all entire Pandavas were dependent upon Krishna, and Abhimanyu knew that once he goes in Chakravyuha, there's a chance of him being killed. He might not come back. But still he surrendered his life for the service of Krishna, and here Abhimanyu got a spiritual protection from Krishna. And King Parikshit was not saved by snake bite, and this was another Krishna's plan, because Kali was about to start, and the advent of Srimad Bhagavatam should be spoken. So through Parikshit Maharaj, we can also hear the Bhagavatam. So what are the lessons I learned from this is, a devotee must firmly understand that this body is temporary and it can perish anytime. We are like spirit soul, we're distant from the body, so we should always expect that Krishna will protect us from death. Real protection is so we should not always expect that Krishna will protect us from death, but the real protection is of our consciousness, for our devotional faith, and our remembrance of Krishna. So the greatest fear that we devotees will have is forgetfulness of Krishna. That is the greatest fear, because which keeps us in ignorance, the cycle of birth and death. By Krishna's mercy, a devotee who dies gets a favorable environment and good opportunities to continue devotional service in the next life. So what are the qualities of a devotees of the Lord? So if we see the Abhimanyu, he completely surrendered his life in the service of Krishna. Even Parishit Maharaj, even though he was cursed by the sage son, he did not retaliate. He did not. He accepted his mistake. He repented for his mistake. So and he then he forgave them, and he was completely absorbed in the services of Krishna. So that is the mood of a devotee. So some of the qualities of devotee are like that, they're 26, but I would like to say with few, like kind to everyone, does not quarrel with anyone, fixed and absolute truth, etc. And so that is what we to practice Krishna consciousness right from childhood is very, very important, so that we develop all these good qualities. So when our life is confronted with difficulties in our future, that we'll be able to handle it better. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna's incarnation Kali Yuga in the mode of perfect devotee. So on the path of a pure devotion to Krishna, what should be the mode of prayer? Where does the prayers for others fit in? So usually when we pray for our well-being, the health of our family, so to get some material benefit. But what should be the actual mode of the prayer? The prayer should to God should be a pure activity, not with any selfish motive. So when we pray to God, we are simply trying to develop our natural relationship of dependence on him. We are depending on him. So when we pray Father, we focus our attention on Krishna rather than thinking ourselves the controllers of the world. So sometimes we think we are the controller, we can do anything, but actually the real source of help comes from Krishna only. Because of him only we are able to do a lot of things in this world. So if we don't turn to Krishna, what will be happen? We might develop into a mode of carelessness, irresponsibility to our dealings with others. Even we become cold-hearted in response to others' difficulties. So we have to take our time and energy and to pray for others, to help pray for others, and it will help us to develop the selflessness. So those who pray for others in a mood of pure love for Krishna know that everything is up to him. So it doesn't matter, they know it's not the volume or the intensity of the prayer that changes the situation, but the Krishna and its will. That is the ultimate thing which changes every situation in your favor. So when we pray for others, it's a sign of for a spiritual advancement, an open-hearted service. So when we ask others to pray for us, it shows our natural humility, a feeling that others' prayer will be more valuable than our own. Both those who pray for others, whether asked or not, or those who request others to pray for them, can remember that the result of the prayer not always visible or obvious. So here we can see that Krishna is happy to fulfill the honest prayers of devotees, but sometimes he gives a better result than what we ask for. Sometimes in reality, we not always be able to get what we want. So if we see in spiritual perspective, we can see that God is all good and all merciful, is the most powerful controller and our best friend. He knows what is best for us. So all that happens, whether bad or good from our limited material vision, is for our own benefit. So some of the examples of sincere prayers to Krishna from scriptures are like a devotee of Krishna prays for another's welfare, like Prahlad Maharaj. Even though he was, there was a lot of attempt to kill him by his own father, he sincerely prays to the Lord to give mercy to his father. And King Ambarisha, Durvasa Muni, was trying to kill him, but he still he was praying for. He forgave him. When the serpent Kala attacked Krishna, his wife prayed for his release. The sage Samika's son cursed King Parishit to die, but the sage begged Krishna for his son's pardon. An example of devotees praying for others' spiritual enlightenment is one is like Vasudeva Datta. He was associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he asked to take on other sinful karmic creations so that they could attain bhakti, or love of God. Prabhupada prayer for others, we find that he does not include health or prosperity, but always within the context of spiritual service, like Prabhupada, we can certainly ask Krishna to grant others a fit body for a long life in his Krishna service. An example of devotees who request others to beseech the Lord on their behalf is King Pratapa Rudra. He asked many devotees to beg Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, to grant him a meeting. Even Srila Prabhupada, when he was sick, he asked his disciple to pray for his recovery so that he could finish the mission which his spiritual master gave him. So how can we face the dualities in life? Srila Prabhupada explains how a devotee views happiness and distress in life. A fully Krishna conscious person is not at all disturbed by the onslaught of miseries in this life. He accepts all miseries as a mercy of the Lord, thinking himself only worthy of more trouble due to his past mistakes, and he sees that miseries, by the grace of Lord, are minimized to the lowest. So when he is happy, he gives credit to the Lord, thinking himself unworthy of the happiness. He realizes that it's only due to the Lord's grace that he is such in comfortable condition and able to render better service to the Lord. So we can engage in prayer to deepen our relationship with Krishna, to develop a mood of humility and compassion for others, and with a desire to glorify our beloved Lord. Our prayers should not stem from excessive attachment to this world. So the conclusion is, our prayer should be in a complete surrender to Krishna. We should always pray to Krishna with full faith, and should have that full faith in his protection. So life in this material world considered as a padam yat vipadam, meaning we have a danger from falling down from the bhakti practice any time. So although one may be elevated to an exalted position in the Lord transcendental service, at any moment there is a danger of false pride polluting our devotional mentality. So we should be very careful. We should not interfere into our life and become an obstacle in our devotional path. So we should pray to Krishna protection for our consciousness, our developed faith, and our remembrance of Krishna. The greatest fear of devotees is forgetfulness of Krishna. So we should sincerely pray that we should never forget Krishna. So otherwise, what happens, we end up a cycle of birth and death. So one cannot save himself from the cruel hands of death in the material world without having surrendered himself to the lotus feet of the Lord. So the Lord is the only shelter of fearlessness for the surrounded soul. So prayer should be to God should be considered as a pure activity, not with any selfish motive. We have to take our time and energy to pray for others for the spiritual benefit that will help us to develop our selflessness. And Srimad Bhagavatam 6 Kando 17 chapter 28 verse is said, devotees only engaged in the devotional service consider the pain of calamity insignificant when compared to the pain of separation from the Lord. They never fear any condition of life. For them, the heavenly planet, liberation, and hellish planet all are same. For such devotees are interested in only the service of the Lord. So we are also facing the fiery weapon. Like a Brahmastra, we are also facing a fiery weapon, the time factor. And before it comes very near us and kill us, we must shout out the prayer for Krishna's protection, so that we will be completely absorbed in his service. With that, I like to end with a sincere prayer. I, the most insignificant soul, pray to Supreme Mother Lord Krishna to show his causeless mercy on me and all of you, so that we always engage ourselves in his service. Let's not fear the Brahmastra of devotees of this life and be completely surrendered to the will of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Mataji and Prabhu. Mataji, that was a very excellent, very, very nice, well-researched class, and lots of points. I wish, you just told us how we have to surrender to Krishna and how Krishna will always protect his pure devotees, and how, we should not get stuck up in the dualities of life. So thank you very much for the wonderful class, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhu, for the class. So with that, we'll go to the last segment of this today's program. Suvarna Manjari Mataji, Sri Devi Mataji, and Kanan Prabhu will recite Bhagavad Gita chapter 12, slokas from Bhagavad Gita chapter 12. So I'll share my desktop so we can see the prayers.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. I will jump. I know we're running late, so we'll jump right into the recitation. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Arjuna Uvacha. Evam satatayuktaye bhaktastvam paryupasate ye chapyaksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittama. Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect, those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Mano Ye Mam Nityayukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayopetas Te Me Yukta Tamamata. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect. Ye tvaksharam anirdesham avyaktam paryupasate sarvatra gammachintyam cha kutastham achalam dhruvam Sanniyamendriyagramam sarvatra samabuddhaya te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhutahite ratha. But those who fully worship the unmanifested, that which lies beyond the perception of the senses, the all-pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed and immovable, the impersonal conception of the absolute truth, by controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone, such persons engaged in the welfare of all at last achieve me. क्लेशोऽधिकातरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवद्भिरवाप्यते. For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. Ye tu sarvani karmani mai sannyasa matpara ananyanaiva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate teshamaham samudharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami na chirat partha maya veshita chetasam. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me, and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service, and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. मय्येव मन आधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवशिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशय. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always without a doubt. अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय. My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. अभ्यासेप्य समर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थम् अपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिम् अवाप्स्यसि. If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me, because by working for me, you will come to that perfect stage. Sri Devi Mataji, over to you.
Hare Krishna devotees, thank you Swarna Manjuri Mataji, you recited so well Mataji, thank you. And from 11th. Adaitat apyashaktoshi kartum madyogamashritah sarva karma phalatyagam tata guryatatmavan.
If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act, giving up all results of your work, and try to be self-situated.
Shreyo hi jnanamapyasat jnana dhyanam visishyate dhyana karma phalatyaga dhyaka chandiranantaram.
If you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation. And better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. But for by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind.
Adveshta sarva bhutanam maitra karuna eva cha nirmamo nirahankara samadukka sukakshami sandushta satatam yogi yatatma druda nischayah mayyarpita mano bhutiryo mad bhakta same priyah.
One who is not envious, but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me.
Yashman not vijate loko lokan not vijate shayah harsha marsha bhayotvekir mukto yasachame priyah.
He by whom no one is put into difficulty and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipoised in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety, is very dear to me.
Anapeksha susitaksha udasino gatavyatah sarvarambha parityagi yomad bhakta same priyah.
My devotee who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure, expert, without cares, free from all pains, and not striving for some result, is very dear to me.
Yona hrishyati na tveshi na shoshadi na kankshati shubha shubha parityagi bhakti manya same priyah.
One who neither rejoices nor grieves, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things, such a devotee is very dear to me.
Sama satrau cha mitre cha tata mana pamanayoh शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखेषु समसङ्ग विवर्जितः तुल्यनिन्दा स्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतस्थिरमधिर्भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः.
One who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge and who is engaged in devotional service, such a person is very dear to me.
Yedu dharmamrutamidam yatoktam paryupasate shraddha dana matparama bhaktastetiva me priyah.
Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very, very dear to me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sri Devi Mataji, Kannan Prabhu, and Suvarna Manjari Mataji. That was a very beautiful recitation of chapter 12, Bhagavad Gita. With that, we would like to conclude the Bhagavad Sanga program today. Thank you very much, devotees, for joining. Hare Krishna.